I've watched plenty of videos and the guys, 2 kicks and it'll be going, and then 15 kicks later. Okay, today's a bit of a treat. I'm here with one of my favourite people and we're here to check out his motorcycle.
Hi guys, my name's Sean Connolly. We're outside Moto. I do specialised fabrication for all makes and models of motorcycles, sissy bars, handlebars, bolt-on parts, and yeah, it's my full-time job and I'm loving what I do. And this is my everyday bike. It's a 1974 shovel head. Been customised and real fun thing to ride, that's for sure.
And it's a 5-speed, 4-speed?
So it's a 4-speed. It's a ratchet top gearbox, which they came out with back in the mid-70s. So this model runs from 1970 to 1984.
What is it like to ride a bike with no suspension? Because, I'm thinking back to the days of kidney belts and...
Yep.
Is it that bad or is it all right?
No, it's completely fine as long as you've got mid controls.
Oh, really?
So if you've got mid controls, you feel a lot better just because it's like sitting on a chair. So your ankles and knees are situated in a better riding position. So if you hit a bump, you're already sitting, and so you can move with that bounce.
Okay, and so it's like a jockey. Do you take your weight on your feet?
Mm-hmm. Yep. The people that complain, they all have forward controls, and
okay.
it is quite uncomfortable when you hit a bump with forward controls.
Well, I noticed that even on my mids, they're not as mid as these ones are. But yeah, I do feel that it's better over the bumps, and I know that if I've had bikes where my feet are out, way out in front of me, and you definitely feel it more in your spine, for sure.
Well, these are high mids as well. It's mounted off the back of the engine, so they are a good 4 inches higher than stock mids.
Now, these machined aluminium pieces, are they like something you do, or is it a custom? So you did these yourself?
Mm-hmm. Yep, they're something that we do for other people as well. So
they're really nice, and I like the fact that they're a larger diameter. I reckon it's got to be more comfortable than a more narrow diameter peg. Could you do those for like Indians, or is it Harleys only that you're doing at the moment?
No, we can do parts for any other bike. We just, if we haven't done it before, we usually get the customer in, or I go and find the bike and we sort of measure up, and then we draw it up in CAD, and then we can get parts machined, and that sort of sits in our inventory of parts that we offer.
I can vouch for Sean's build quality, because Sean did my sissy bar for my Indian chief, and it's absolutely fantastic. Beautiful quality welds, and the whole thing from start to finish is just perfect. That's your pedal there, I see. Oh no, Chopper's Rule. I thought it said Barnum. I thought it said Barnum Moto. There you go. Yeah.
That's just a fun little thing. I thought, you know what, I'll have a bit of fun with this. Have Barnum on one side and Chopper's Rule on the other.
And what is the key to kickstarting a chopper like this?
Well, it comes everything from timing of the bike, and then obviously you got a starting sequence depending on the temperament. So for me, it's just 2 hand squirts, put the enrichener on, 2 prime kicks, and then key on, and then just give it 1 kick and it will go. So. And the exhaust system, did you make this one? Is this your own design and own fabrication? Yeah, made these pipes, put these on over winter, so not too many miles on these, but they are straight pipes. Are they loud? They're a lot louder than the other exhaust that was on there, for sure. I put little kickouts, and then we've got these machine tips on the end here, so that you've got that nice little radius, which is just
that's nice.
Subtle detail.
It just finishes off so nicely.
I like subtle detail, so there's little things everywhere that are just, I guess, a bit more tasteful than having something that's plain.
Is this your logo on the side here?
That's it, yep.
Yeah.
So that took a bit of brainstorming, just a few scribbles on paper, and then essentially what I wanted to do was incorporate what I make, and that was handlebars and sissy bars, and essentially just joined them together, and that was it.
Now, is this a functional passenger peg?
Yeah, they are small, so but yeah, it's just to keep your feet off the exhaust. But I've got a few of my friends that they've burnt plenty of their heels right through there. Yeah.
and the width of the seat too.
Yeah, so we're probably only at 3.5 inches, if that, on the rear.
It's a cool seat. Did you make this seat yourself?
Did the seat pan,
Yep.
and then I used the best in the industry for Australia is Badass Trimco in Sydney. So I talked to him and sent it foamed up, and he did some some touch-ups, and then he did all the leather trim to my design, and he shaped it a lot nicer than what I originally had. So
Okay, so you pre-shaped the foam to give him an idea of what you wanted.
So that was
And then he finished it, and
Yep.
that's cool. And this is one of your sissy bars, obviously.
It's a pretty short sissy bar for a chopper. It's 400 mil high. I guess the unique thing about this one is that it has internal wiring for the light.
Okay.
So very clean
So is
look.
it hollow?
It's solid, but on the right hand side it's machined pieces that are all joined together and linished. So you've got no wires, but the tail light is definitely working because the wires are now running through the inside of this
Wow.
bar. So it is solid bar, but
Oh, that's pretty trick. Yeah,
a lot more hours in.
I was going to say, that's a bit of a feat.
Yeah.
And this light's cool. Where'd you get that from?
That's bar none Moto.
Oh, so it's your own design as well, isn't it?
Yep. So that's what I call a babushka tail light, because it's like one of those babushka dolls.
And I love the handlebars too. Now these are called rabbit ears, is that right?
Yep. They're just short little bars, nice and skinny. So
They're very narrow.
great for riding a bike in traffic or trying to get down someone's driveway or something like that. So
Yeah, that's cool. They're shoulder widths too, which I reckon would be comfortable. I like bars that are shoulder width. For me personally, if my hands are wider than my shoulders, I'm less comfortable than if I'm in line with my shoulders. So
this is just
yeah.
what I felt was comfortable. So I originally went with 90 degrees, and then I wanted to take that pressure off the outside of my palm, so I just added an extra 4 degrees to get that pressure off.
Yeah,
A
okay.
bit more comfort, and then just moved them to where I wanted,
Yeah.
and that's where I need it.
And everything's internal.
Yep. So the only thing that's internal is the one throttle cable. There's no wires up front.
And it just comes out the bottom there. Yeah. Yeah, because it's foot clutch, isn't it? That's the other thing we've got to look at.
Yep.
So
that's our foot clutch there, and sorry.
jockey shift.
Yeah, so that's it. That's our foot clutch. We've got our hand shift.
How long did it take you to get used to riding with a foot clutch?
It took no more than two shifts of gear, to be honest.
Really?
I was a bit hesitant, thinking, how am I gonna do this? So, but it's just like a car, even easier because you're just going forwards and back.
Yeah, okay. What about hill starts though?
That's where the fun's
Yeah, that's it.
So you either can judge the traffic light and you just sit in first and sort of just putt up to it, but sometimes you get caught out with no front brake.
Yeah.
It can be a bit tricky. So
is it like just a rapid fire, foot down, let out,
yeah,
foot off the brake?
case by case.
Yeah, we have to go foot off the brake,
Yep.
foot on the clutch.
Yep.
So okay, so you have to have your left leg down for a start, so in neutral, I imagine.
No, I generally just keep this one
Do you?
right in the clutch, just put into neutral,
Yeah, okay.
and then I'll keep this one up. So if the traffic does change,
So you're just riding the clutch to hold yourself from rolling backwards.
yeah, then I just put into first, and then I'm off.
Okay.
So it can be, it can be a bit of fun if you're, say, when we're in Sydney, riding around in the city in the hills. It can catch you out.
Yeah, I'll say.
For sure.
Yeah.
Usually a friend will just come up behind you. If he's got a front brake, he'll sit behind you, wheel on wheel, and he'll hold you there.
Okay.
It's definitely
That's
a lot
cool.
easier.
Now, that's a larger diameter rear wheel. That
Yeah.
obviously is going to help with bumps and things as well.
It's an 18x4. So
Is it for that purpose that it's a larger diameter, or is it just for styling that you like the larger?
just styling.
Styling, okay.
So you got the vintage tread on this one, which they're Avons.
Okay. So tyres are readily available.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I run Avons front and rear. They're just my preferred tyre, really.
Yeah, it's a nice tread pattern in the front too. That's very very old school, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a Mark II.
And nice spoke wheels. That's a nice hub too.
Yeah, so that's a custom check hub. It's actually a mini drum brake.
I was going to say, it looks like it would have a drum brake in it.
Yeah, so I can put this in, so it has a front brake. They're out of Italy and they're very high quality.
And these fork legs, I saw. Have you got some of these for sale at the moment?
Yeah, so they're outsourced to my friend who does all of the CNC machining. But yeah, we do these for plenty of sporties and big twins.
Okay, so Harley Sporties and big twins, and you've got a couple available at the moment for Sportsters.
Yeah. So if you were running a 39mm front end on a big twin, you can put them on as well.
Okay.
You just won't have a front brake because they're for sport hubs.
Yeah,
so
there's no mounting.
For that chopper look.
No mounts for hardware, is there, on them? It's just clean. Yeah, and this little valve stem cover's cool too.
Yeah, so it can go both ways.
Now, what's this regulator? Is that what we've got down there? Or?
Yeah, rectifier.
Rectifier, sorry. Do you have points, or have you gone electronic?
Electronic ignition.
Electronic, okay.
So yeah,
Yep. And which?
The stock standard for all reliable bikes is the Dyna 2000.
Okay, Dyna 2000, all right. Yeah. And then these oil lines, these are all your custom design and shaping? Or?
They're old stuff out of the US.
Okay.
These are aftermarket. I think they're new old stock from 70s or 80s.
Okay, wow. And did I see the oil filter sticking out of the oil bag there? Is that what we got going? That's not normal, is it? Or is that...
That's Parco.
Okay.
And yeah, it's just a top fill oil tank, and essentially it's the horseshoe
which is under
style.
the seat, yeah.
And yeah, they offer a couple of different styles with the oil filter as a part of the oil tank. So
yeah, that's a great idea. I like that idea. Does it make a bit of a mess when you're changing the oil, or is it pretty easy to get?
Not too bad. You got to be quick and have a towel and just undo it and then hold it upright so it doesn't go everywhere. But yeah, they're a good thing for sure.
And the petrol tank.
So it's a high mount Frisco. I got the shell and the base from TC Bros, and I welded it together and then put this in this location just because I can get the most amount of fuel with it here, and then I put the petcock and bung down here, so essentially I am getting as little
wastage.
As much fuel as I can get out.
Yeah.
So.
And fuel gauge?
Fuel gauge is essentially just knowing how far you've travelled and
keep an eye on your mileage. Although you don't have a speedo, do you? Or is that the speedo in there?
Speedo's hiding down here.
Okay.
So that's a Barna Moto speedo motor mount.
Okay.
So this one's nearly up to 20,000 miles on this bike. So it's done a few trips.
Yeah.
So it's nearly 4 years old.
So you've really given it a good shakedown and taken on runs and it's been reliable.
Yep. Like with all bikes, they're constantly changing and evolving, and you're moving bits and pieces around. But yeah, the paint has stayed the same since day one.
And who did the paint?
Primal Garage.
Okay.
That's my mate Dave. He was major part in getting this bike to the machine show, which is why the bike was built. So he did the wiring, the paint, lots of work, put in a lot of hours, and the shakedown ride was just like maybe a couple of kilometers. We gave it everything, rode back, and then we're like, all right, so if we can do 5 kilometers, like there's no reason why it can't make it to Braidwood, which was what was it? It's like 2,500k return trip.
Wow.
So that was the actual shakedown ride.
Wow.
Because we left it to the night before we had to leave to get to this show. So.
Oh, and it came through with flying colours, eh?
Yeah. It was stressful, and it didn't really really sink in until we got to and we had a beer and we around the campfire.
Yeah. It's a great looking bike. I really like it. Now, who wants to see what a 6'1" person looks like sitting on this bike? Because they're going to want to know. Yeah. Question is, could I ride this motorcycle? I can rest my elbows on my knees while I'm riding. That would be comfortable. But yeah, that'd take me a little bit to get used to this.
You might have to do some hip stretches before.
Hip flexors, my hip flexors will be going crazy within a short amount of time, I reckon. But it is cool. It's a very comfortable riding position.
It's surprising.
Yeah.
I try to get like the tallest person around to sit down on it.
Yeah.
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 Just for a bit of fun.
Yeah. And like these are high, but I'm not uncomfortable. Like, you know, I think hip flexors wise, it may start to bite after a few kilometres, but no, that's cool.
A lot of the guys in Japan run them higher.
It's big, the scene over there, isn't it?
Oh, it's definitely an inspirational scene. I think they build the best bikes in the world.
Really? Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah.
A lot of good builders in America, but personal preference, I like what the Japanese do.
I do too. I really like what I'm seeing when I watch their videos. The bikes over there are just so cool, and they're very fastidious, and really make sure it's exactly the way they want it. Oh, triple clamps. Are these?
So they're Mellon's chain drive.
Okay.
So they're out of the States, high quality item. So you can buy the set with the axle. So
okay.
you just and they're made for spool hub. So skinny front end, no front brakes. So you won't be running any sort of disc with those triples.
Yeah. And the headlight?
It's just a little headlight from Low Barrel Customs.
Okay.
It's a
it's got the
4-inch
high beam light on top there, and a little switch on the back, I assume, for high beam. Hey, there it is. Yep.
It's just a switch for on off.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's how I've wired it. So.
Okay. So no high beam. No high beam.
No, it's LED glow or LED, but it's just high beam.
Okay. Oh, just high beam. Okay.
Just high beam.
Yeah.
So it's
And the
high or off.
And the petrol cap, is that one of yours, or is that a?
I forget where I brought this from, but I brought it as a part of the bung and the cap.
Okay.
So it's a tiny little cap.
Cool.
Basically, just the squirter is going to sit in there.
Yeah.
And not much else, but you can get it right up there, and then
you can fill that up a fair way. And how many litres does it hold?
So this will hold about 8 litres.
Okay. Yep. So how many Ks can you get on?
If I'm just riding highway and we're on a trip and we're sort of just in the hills, just riding normally, get about 160 Ks.
Oh wow, well, that's all right.
It's a lot more than
But that's 100 miles for my American friends. Yeah, that's good.
But after 100 miles, you're
ready to get off and have
you're ready to talk some shit, and someone might have broken down. You never know.
Yeah. And this rear guard.
So that's also from Low Barrel Customs. It's a Manta Ray.
Okay.
They're my go-to fenders. They're just the best.
Yeah. Okay. Just in quality or styling, or just overall?
Everything.
Yeah.
So they match the radius of the fender really well.
Yeah. Okay.
They come long, so you can cut them to shape. They are stamped, so they're really high quality in terms of how thick the steel is.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they're be probably 2.5 mil.
Okay.
In thickness, so you can weld off it. They don't distort, but great fender. It's open belt when the bike's running. Obviously, the belt is just hanging around there. So that's a Riviera Primo clutch setup. The actual clutch itself is a Scorpion.
And the hardtail, that's something you did yourself, or did you buy a hardtail frame?
No, it was it's a swing arm shovel frame, and then I hardtailed it. So that's something that I do as well in here. So if someone wants their bike hardtailed, I can do that for them. So
is that your own design hardtail, or is it some?
No, it's basically stock dimensions, just a little bit shorter.
Okay. So, that's cool.
The axle plates are like a high quality cast from America.
Yep.
And they're hardtail choppers. John's really helpful. That's who I'd recommend getting your axle plates from.
Okay.
Because he does a few different other cast parts. Like he'll do cast necks, he'll do custom cast necks to a different rake.
Ah, yes,
So
yes.
this is just stock.
Yep.
But yeah, it does all different parts of casting.
And
That's our little mirror that we
I was going to say, where's that little mirror come from? Yeah. So that's yours, a little bar none Moto mirror, yeah?
Yeah, we've got inspiration off Banga Speed.
Oh, yeah.
He does a 1 inch, and it fits a 7/8 as well, where ours are 1 inch only, and ours are stainless steel with a nice little ripple feature.
Yeah, cool.
So that'll match the air cleaner as well.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. So is that your air cleaner?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, cool. And what carb are you running on this?
That's a S&S Super E.
Okay, yep. And the brakes, the only brakes you got are this rear drum here.
Mm-hmm.
How effective is that?
It stops you.
It does? Yeah.
It's better than you would think.
Yeah.
But it does lock up the rear wheel when you
stomp on
you
it.
need to.
Yeah.
But with any sort of drum brake, even though it is hydraulic, it works better if you pump it a few times.
Yeah, okay.
If you've got time, but if you step on it hard enough, it does lock up. So
Yeah. And do you need to blow it out dust-wise every now and again?
mm-hmm. You always do maintenance on these things.
Yeah.
It's a constant thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, being hardtail and they vibrate, you're always going over nuts and bolts and
I've
making sure
seen.
things are tight.
From what I've seen, if you're going to go on a longer ride or a trip,
I'll do every nut and bolt.
I was going to say, just before you go,
Yeah.
and then you're fine.
Yeah,
because I've seen people who don't do that, and they're broken down, bits have fallen off, and
Well, things do fall off. Don't worry.
Because Loctite is not the answer to everything, is it?
Well, yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
You can't rely solely on Loctite. You need to torque everything down to the right spec, and then use the right coloured and numbered Loctite depending on what the application's for. So you'd only use blue on things that you want to be able to remove, and then red on things that you could put some heat in to remove it down the line. So.
And do you need to put heat in to remove red?
If you use enough red, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like welding it in.
It's
sort of.
It's called permanent.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
But as a rule of thumb, just a drop of red on most things will sort you out. But then you torque it down.
Yeah.
You're sweet. But
and the rims?
So they're a high shoulder XL rim.
Okay, yeah, high shoulder. Okay, yes, yep. So XL Harley-Davidson, or when you
No,
say XL, or
they're
extra large, is it?
XL, so spelled EX.
Okay.
CALL.
Yeah, XL. Okay, yep.
They're out of England, and both wheels were built by the same guy down in Melbourne. And there's no adjustment there's a set and forget with his wheels, so you don't ever need to touch the spokes. You never even need to tighten them. They're always
really
good.
Wow.
Yeah, he's been riding motorcycles his whole life. He races road bikes, push bikes as well. So he does wheels flat out.
And so they don't sort of stretch or get worn or loosen or anything.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
I
asked him when I went and picked him up, and I was like, just ask him some questions to get some feedback, and I offended him by asking, do I need to adjust the spokes at all? And he was like, oh, jeez. No one ever touches their spokes if I've done them.
Really? See, I just assumed that was part of the maintenance, that you check them and, you know.
It is, but not his wheels. So,
really?
And, they're a part of the things I check as well.
Yeah.
Things break, but I've never had a broken spoke.
Yeah.
They're stainless spokes, so they're strong.
Yeah, I like this weight too. That's really classy. All right, I think we've covered everything. I think I'd like to see it out in the road. I think you guys would too. Do you mind going for a little ride, Sean?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. I'll grab the GoPro and
go for a squat.
Yeah, sounds good.
Hope you can stay up with me.
I'll do my best. just got back from a little ride, and I must say, this thing flies. I'm amazed at how quick it is and how well it handles.
Yeah, it's definitely nice and nimble.
Thank you very much today, Sean, for your time. It's been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. Been a pleasure.
Thanks for showing us over your bike, and don't forget, if you want really anything custom for your bike, whether it's Harley, Indian, whatever, really, isn't it? It doesn't have to be a Harley or Indian. It could be Japanese, could be anything. But
Yep, that's right. Yeah, anything.
Yeah.
Any make and model.
yeah, so sissy bars, handlebars, anything you want, Sean can do it. So I'll put his website up on the screen now, so you can go check it out, and you'll be surprised at what Sean can do. It's quite amazing. So thanks again, Sean, and we'll have to go for a ride sometime.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Pleasure.